There are some really great beauty products in today's video and more fails than usual. These are my favorite and least favorite beauty products that stood out to me the most, either in a really good or a really bad way that I tried recently over the past month or so. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Let's go ahead and get into my current favorite and least favorite products. I love a good one and done swipe on and go eyeshadow. It's great for getting ready quickly and looking put together, but not spending a lot of time doing it. And I have two great one and done eyeshadow formulas to share with you in this video that are both great for mature textured eyelids. The first one was a huge surprise. I bought the Catrice Space Glam Chrome eyeshadow from Amazon on a whim because I thought it might be trying to dupe Urban Decay Moon Dust eyeshadows. This is a new release from Catrice, and I thought, even if it's not a dupe, I'll put it in my monthly Amazon favorites. Well, clearly it's not in a dupes video and it's not in my Amazon favorites. So let's talk about why. The shade that I grabbed is Moonlight Glow, and I want you to watch how this swipes on. These are all duochrome pigmented eyeshadows, and this shade is described as a radiant white with light green and delicate gold shimmer. So you can go full on pigment like I just did, or you can sheer it out a little bit if you want just a light wash of color. It has a very creamy finish to it. So when you swipe it on, you don't get glitter or shimmer fallout. You don't even feel any chunkiness to it whatsoever. And that's what I thought I was going to get, because it kind of looks like that's what you'll get in the pan, like the Urban Decay Moon Dust shadows. Those have some dustiness to them and some fallout, but once applied, they look really pretty. You don't get any of that with this. These just swipe on almost like a cream powder hybrid formula of some sort. I've worn this alone. I've worn it over other shadows as kind of a topper. It's just really special looking. I got so much more from my $6 than what I thought I was going to get. And there are a couple more shades to choose from too. Really love this purchase so much. I'm testing a new foundation in combination with a radiant primer for an upcoming foundation review, and I didn't realize how shiny my face was in that last clip. So I did a little bit of blotting, but the lights in front of me always reflect so much more shine than I see here in person. So if you do see a lot of shine on my face today, that's why. So let's continue with eyes. I think that's what I'm going to do today, is kind of break this in sections. And these are the Mob Beauty Cream Clay Shadows. So my YouTuber friend Shelby Wilson developed these with Mob Beauty, which is the perfect collaboration because she has such an aesthetic that lends itself to that. She loves a cream, one and done eyeshadow, cream makeup in general, and has such an easy, laid back, beautiful aesthetic to her channel. If you're not following her, I'll have her channel linked down below. So I started out today with shade M145 on my lid. I just swiped it on with a finger and blended it up into my crease, and then added M146, which is this beautiful amethyst shimmer, to the outer portion of my eye, blending it up and out the same way. These have 2 types of clay and 4 plant waxes in them, and they're just so creamy and smooth. They're extremely easy to work with, whether you apply them with a finger or with a brush, if you wear them alone or over primer, or if you layer powder shadows on top of them like I ended up doing today, and I'll talk about that here in a second. The shades that Shelby developed with Mob Beauty are just so wearable. They're subtle yet have an impact. I feel like they almost give an ethereal look to my eyes. Now, because of this formula and the way it works, these can crease up a little bit during the day. So you kind of need to be okay with that. If you experience that creasing, you can gently tap it out with your fingers and you can touch it up. It layers well over itself. It doesn't dry down such that you can't blend it out. You can't work with it if you do get some natural creasing that sometimes happens. But if you want to try to prevent that creasing a little bit, I have layered these over primer and I can prolong that from happening. And I have also lightly tapped a very sheer translucent setting powder over the top, one that has a little bit of radiance but not shimmer, like Prism Libre powder or this new Hourglass powder that I'm going to talk about here in a second. But I do lose a little bit of that sheen, but these just look so pretty that I've been enjoying them anyway, and I'm so glad that I tried these because I've never tried this formula before. This is the second Mob Beauty product I've tried this month. The first one was this M1990 lip liner Liner, which is the shade that Max Spice was originally before it changed throughout the years. I shared this in one of the videos I'll have linked below or up in the corner. This has been in steady rotation ever since. So we are 2 for 2 with Mob Beauty. I've gone back and forth several times about whether or not I wanted to go ahead and talk to you about the new Sigma Cool Neutrals palette, because I've played with it here and there, but I don't know, I just felt like I needed to play with it a little bit more. But every look I've gotten, I have loved, and I've had this on in 2 different videos, and in both of those videos, I was asked several times what I had on my eyes because you loved it. This is what I topped those Mob Beauty eyeshadows with. I just swiped Angel Wing and Iris over the respective champagne and amethyst shadows and ever so slightly smoked out the very outside of my lid with the shade Talisman. This was a very easy, quick eye look today. I just have bronzer in my crease and I swiped on those shadows. I know there's been some controversy with the name of this palette being Cool Neutrals because these are not all cool tones, but there's a nice variety of shades here that I haven't seen in another palette. And these are wearable shades for most people. I have been dipping into this palette here and there over and over for every day, for nighttime events. Also, the brush that they include is really nice. You get their E38 and E54 brushes on this nice dual-ended brush that also has some of the design from the front. And I mean, this is just a beautiful palette in general to look at on the outside as well as to wear. Basically, every time I've used it, I've been impressed with it. I'm really enjoying it. So I figured, let's go ahead and talk about it. I've said many times in the past, I think a lot of Sigma's makeup products get overlooked. The quality is really nice, and this is a great product from Sigma. Now it's time for a one and done eyeshadow that didn't work out for me at all. So in my recent video, 7 new makeup releases that are worth your money, I said that I tried 2 new drugstore eyeshadow sticks, and the one in that video I absolutely loved, and I was saving the one I didn't like for this video. And here it is. This is the L'Oreal Le Shadow Stick Eyeshadow. I tried this with and without primer, and I just found it didn't glide on as easily as the other one. If you want the details about the other one, which is great for mature or textured eyelids and wears beautifully throughout the day, definitely go check out that other video. I'll have it linked up in the corner and down below, along with all the products I'm sharing and wearing today. And I'll have as many as I can linked through the YouTube shopping icons too, but they don't always have everything. So definitely check my description box to find everything. They also started doing yard work outside. So if you hear something extra, that's what that is. These set down pretty quickly, which I don't have a problem with when that is the case. I usually scribble the stick onto one lid and then blend it into my crease and then move on to the other eye. My issue with these is that when they start to set and dry down, instead of looking the same as when you applied them, they start to look dry and crinkle up a bit. They're just not flattering, and my eyelids sort of feel dry too. The good thing is that they don't crease and they're budge proof. I mean, they lasted all day, but they just don't flatter my lids in the process, which is not a good thing when there are so many good one and done eyeshadow products out there, like the other drugstore eyeshadow stick I shared in that video, which glides on like a dream and stays looking flattering and doesn't crease and stays on all day. Now these may work great if you have normal non-textured eyelids and your lids don't crinkle and they just stay smooth, but I can't identify with that. So if you do have any dryness or texture, I was not a fan of this formula. This is the Tula 24/7 Power Swipe Hydrating Day and Night Treatment Eye Balm. Now there is an Aquaphor under eye concealer hack that's everywhere right now that I shared in my last video, and I gave you some tips on how to do a similar thing on a daily basis with more eye-friendly products, which is something I've been doing for a long time now. It's how I prep my under eyes before I do my makeup and have been for years. This was one of those suggestions that I bought to try out several weeks ago. I've really been enjoying it, and I actually had the intent to share it in this video, whether it was a favorite or a fail. So the reason why I've been liking this so much is because it's kind of like an eye cream in balm form. It deeply hydrates, but it's very lightweight. So you can use this as your eye cream in the morning if you want something to just swipe on that's very quick, or you can use it as a prep step, kind of a priming step before you do your makeup too. It has peptides peptides and collagen to help reduce the look of fine lines and wrinkles. It also has squalane, caffeine, apple, watermelon, and some other ingredients that help hydrate, firm, and improve the look of puffy under eyes, and some ingredients that help protect from pollution and blue light. I've just been enjoying using this as a prep step product before I apply my makeup, my corrector and concealer. It's kind of a booster product. It wears really well under makeup. And I mean, if I'm traveling, this would be great as, you know, just an all-in-one product for day and night to use as skincare as well. It's just a really versatile product. Let's move on to some face products with this Hourglass Vanish powder. I wanted to give you an update on this because I tried it in a trying new makeup video and I've used it several times since, and I have some mixed feelings about it. I know some of you have given me feedback that you're really loving it and you want to know if I love it too. Some of you really don't like it at all. It's talc free, which I know a lot of people look for, and it's a sheer pressed powder that has those microspherical powders that Hourglass uses to help airbrush and diffuse imperfections, and it helps the products not settle into fine lines. It's also supposed to absorb excess oil and minimize shine, but not be drying, and minimize and blur the look of pores. But in that video, when I tried it, I felt like my pores didn't really look as minimized when using it as a setting powder as they do with, say, my Huda Beauty setting powder or Charlotte Tilbury or Prism Libre powder. It's fine with minimizing the look of my pores. I have it in the shade Translucent, and it is very, very sheer, and it is translucent, and it doesn't look like powder. I don't love it as a setting powder though. I enjoy this as a touch-up powder, a blotting powder, but I find in situations like today where my base products are too radiant, they just fight against the powder too much and it doesn't keep my shine away. But it's a great touch-up powder after blotting when I wear normal foundations or mattifying foundations. So that clip that you saw was probably from around 20 minutes ago, and it diffused everything and blotted really nicely, but some shine is starting to come back already. But that's just because I have on such a glowy combination today. I have dry under eyes, and this looks very nice and smoothing on my under eye area, but it doesn't keep me crease free right under my lash line where I'm very prone to creasing. Yet I don't crease in my crow's feet area where I'm also prone to creasing. So that's why I'm mixed on this. Although many times it works really nicely and it looks pretty, it's not consistently performative enough for me to say, yes, this is worth what it costs, especially when there are so many other really nice powders out there that consistently do what they're supposed to do. This is not uncommon for me with Hourglass face products, though. We have a very hit and miss relationship. It's not bad, it's just not what it should be for the money. Tarte quietly launched this product. It's only available on their website, and as soon as I saw it, I ordered it because I think it's basically their Sea Breezy, is that what it was called? Cream bronzer blush duo formula repackaged to fit into their current branding that they have going on. And I absolutely loved that product and was really, really bummed when it disappeared, when it was discontinued. This is the Park Avenue Princess Cream Cheek Duo. I have it in fair to light for my light to medium skin tone, and it works beautifully. This formula is so easy to work with. These shades are both buildable, no fail, effortless products, and they don't stay sticky or tacky. They just give a natural sun-kissed look. This shade of bronzer is the right shade for my skin tone. It's not too orangey, and I love this peachy shade for any time of year, but particularly spring and summer. It builds up nicely and applies beautifully even over powder, which is what I did today. I love that the pan size is big enough to dip your brush into it or your beauty blender, your sponge. I don't have to tap these off on the back of my hand first because they're too pigmented. I can go right on my face and blend these out super easy. Great for getting ready quickly or on the go. I'm so glad that they have a product like this again. I know that Breezy Duo was a favorite among a lot of people, so I really hope this is available in more places, but it's easy to order it from the Tarte website too. I couldn't wait to try out these new Maybelline Sun Kisser blushes. I really like a bronzy kind of coppery shade in summer, so I grabbed Summer in the City and Soul Search. I'm going to show you me blending these out on the back of my hand here in a second, but when I applied these to my face, they just blended away into nothing and left this metallic hint of a tint with glimmer shimmer. Both of them did that, and I tried them several times using different methods. So then I looked them up thinking maybe some of these are supposed to be highlighters or toppers. Apparently not. They're all blushes. This is Summer in the City. I'm using the lightest of pressure to blend these out, and this is Soul Search. And I'm thinking you might just need very fair skin for these shades, but you also do need to like some sheen, some glimmer in your blush too. If you've tried other shades from this line, do you like them? Do they show up? Because I was so disappointed in these, especially based on what they showed in the photos. I've definitely felt misled. I think Bobbi Brown had a plumping lip serum in one shade for a while, but she just added a bunch of new shades, and I tried them for the first time. I had this shade on, Bare Rose, throughout the video until before the last segment when I changed my lip out to Bare Peach. These have botanical oils and hydration and some other really nice ingredients that are supposed to give you up to 24 hours of hydration, plump and smooth, and give you a glossy, shiny finish that lasts up to 8 hours. So this is a lip serum, a lip oil that has a thinner consistency. Sometimes I don't really like that. Sometimes lip oils can be a little too thin and runny. And I thought when I started applying these, that's what these were going to be. But there's something about these that I am really enjoying. It's a thin consistency, but it stays. It's not runny. It's very comfortable, and the scent is very pleasant yet subtle at the same time. So I'm thinking of another lip oil with a thin consistency, Tower 28. And I liked it, but I think because there was really nothing aesthetic to it, no scent or, just anything other than tint and thinness. It's just not one of my favorite formulas. But this has such a nice glassy slip to it and a really nice finish and comfort that I find myself reaching for these quite often. And even if the product wears away after a while, my lips don't feel dry after. That hydration, that comfort has sunk into my lips, which doesn't always happen with these types of products. This was kind of a surprise for me. Typically, I like a little bit more substance to my lip serum, lip oil, but I've really been liking these. If you love Clarins lip oil like I do, I like it so much better than Dior. This is something you're going to be excited about. So they are launching lip oil balms to extend the line. Some of you may have seen my TikTok and Instagram reel where I swatch these shades on my lips. I'll just have it running here so you can see what they look like. I did change my lip out again to lychee. I built it up so you could see what it looks like. So pretty. These have peptides, hyaluronic acid, nourishing oils, and other good ingredients to deeply hydrate and help your lips look fuller and smoother. And they have that sweet, distinct Clarins lip oil scent. This is such a great launch, and I have been absolutely loving every single shade I have. From what I understand, these are launching tomorrow, June 3rd, on, I believe, the Clarins website and Amazon for sure. Maybe other retailers, I'm not 100% positive, but I will link it where I can for you once it's launched. They've been pretty quiet about this, so this was exciting. For those of us who are fans of the lip oil formula, you're definitely going to love these, and even if you haven't, you'll still love them. This is a really nice lip oil balm formula. CoverGirl has had quite a few launches lately. The eyeshadow sticks I referenced earlier that I loved, a really thin micro brow pencil I reviewed earlier in the month. They revamped one of their key long-term foundations that I've been testing, and I'll have a review on very soon in my next foundation roundup. And they launched these Outlast lip stains. Unlike the eyeshadow sticks and the brow product, these did not impress me. These have a marker tip so you can have some precision when you apply them, which is a good thing. I drew this on very quickly before this section. That was bad. Okay, let's do that again. And it does leave a stain that's budge proof. That's not going anywhere. My issue with these is that when I apply them to my lips, the pigmentation is not even. My lips aren't really dry, but I feel like the way these apply makes them look like they're dry because there are certain areas that will be extremely tinted, whereas other areas hardly pick up any pigmentation at all. So I let it dry down a little bit and then I'll try to go over those areas that need a little bit more, but then the border where they meet gets extra pigmented. It's just always a little rough looking. And on the rare case when I got one of the shades to apply somewhat evenly, the wear down just wasn't that great. I felt like they just wore away kind of patchy. After I had such a hard time with these, I looked at the reviews on Amazon and I was looking through the photos, and some of them looked really good, but others looked pretty rough and similar to what I was experiencing, and some of those gave them good reviews. So I'm not sure what the criteria is for this, but for me, these are not smooth. They're not reliable for a lip stain. So these, kind of like the L'Oreal eye product, they're budge proof, they're gonna last, but it's not going to be a flattering, pleasant experience while it happens. A lip stain I love that applies beautifully and evenly is Kaja, if you're looking for something like that. I really wanted these to work too, because I love the concept, but my lips just do not want these to apply evenly for some reason. Dean Davidson is offering a new gemstone, this beautiful bright blue turquoise stone. In the pieces I'm wearing is their Parieba blue that's available in many of their pieces. I think it's so pretty for spring and summer. It just reminds me of the beach, and they have a lot of pieces with this stone available. As always, you can save 15% on your first purchase with my code stephbmarie15. I know I share Dean Davidson a lot here. I wear it daily in my life all the time and give it for gifts. The quality is fantastic, and I love this new stone. It's so eye-catching. I'm a big perfume wearer for all occasions, day, night, at home, going places, it doesn't matter. And I love having a good summery, tropical, beachy scent. So I couldn't wait to get my hands on Stephanie Letta's third perfume. This is Letta 14 Isla Coco, which is supposed to be a tropical, summery scent. And I kind of thought it was going to be like a replica beach walk or something like that, but with some kind of a twist to it, because she does some really interesting things with her scent profiles, making them unlike any other perfumes that I own, and I own quite a few perfumes, and making them true compliment getters. So I'm going to have the notes here on the screen, but this is supposed to be a bright, fresh, sweet, citrusy scent that can transport you to an island paradise. It has an uplifting citrus opening, while fig leaf, cedarwood, and black tea complement the tropical floral blend, and coconut milk adds a creamy, exotic touch. I know perfume wears differently on everyone depending on your body chemistry, but I am not getting beachy or tropical from this at all, and I don't smell the creamy coconut, but I do get a sweet, bright, uplifting, fresh, creamy citrus that's sort of soft at the same time and perfect for spring and summer. So it is a great spring summer fragrance, but it doesn't really evoke the beach or a tropical environment for me, but I don't mind that. I have gotten so many compliments on this since I've worn it from random people, including my daughter. I'm not saying she's random, I'm saying she also gave me a compliment, which says a lot because she only compliments my perfumes when they're really, really good, and it came out of the blue, as did the others. So it's not what I was expecting, but it is something different than what I currently own, and it smells really lovely on me. I think she did a great job with this, even if I'm not getting the tropical coconutty vibe on my skin. I did look at the reviews to see if it was just me, and a lot of people said the same thing, but they still like it too. So I'm not the only one, at least, but I've really loved this for a spring summer fragrance. I'm kind of putting this in the same category as Armani Acqua di Gioia. They have different scent profiles, so not that kind of category, but just really beautiful spring, summertime fragrances, but not beachy summertime fragrances. And there's a place for those. I really love having those in my wardrobe, and this is lovely. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and a big, big thank you to my Stephanie Marie Circle members for supporting my channel the way you do, and a special thank you to the premium members for going above and beyond with your support. It means so much to me. If you're not subscribed, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and be here with me on a regular basis. If you want to have smoother under eye concealer that wears better all day, check this video out. I take that viral Aqua into a 4 hack that might be a little heavy for every day and adapt it for you how I do on an everyday basis. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time. Bye.